All right, Justin, you've had some time now to work on your game plan. What's pleased you with the players moving forward?
Just their effort and their shot ability making. And so, I think that we are starting to get more confident in what we want to run offensively and how we want to start flowing. The guys are starting to ask a lot of questions and figuring it out on their own. And so that's the type of basketball we want to implement here. Things that read and react and making sure you take the shots that you're capable of making. So I think the guys have really been falling in line with that, and we've been getting better every day.
And obviously, it's going to be 2 weeks until by the time you guys play Brisbane.
Yeah.
I imagine the players are itching to play.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are. They've really got their first big win against New Zealand on the road a couple weeks ago. And now we're ready to get back in the lab and just try to do the same thing against Brisbane. I mean, we know it's going to be a really just as tough as opponent, maybe even tougher. But I think this time off and time being able to find a way to gel together has been very helpful.
And obviously, defense has been the problem for the Hawks, but you were very good against the breakers. Yeah. Is that something you've worked on? Yeah,
that was our major key piece, fixing about how to compete every play and how to work on getting consecutive defensive stops. And that's one of our main focus been this week, but we also want to be really good offensively. So we started to mix both of them together, and it's been working well for us at practice.
And the players, is there any concerns, any injury concerns moving forward?
No, they all been very professional. Everybody understands that we can't play 12 men in a game, and at the end of the day, you earn your minutes at practice. And so they've been a really good job putting a lot of pressure on me to work on rotations and see what's going to be the best fit for us. But that's a good problem to have.
You mentioned you wanted your rotation. You wanted 8 or 9 guys. Have you settled on those 8 or 9 guys?
Not concrete. And we had a meeting today talking about, hey, we got to still really start working on that rotation today, as far as so we can get prepared for Sunday, because we don't want to go in this weekend still having not an idea who we're going to play. So that's why we got up and down. Had a really tough one today to kind of narrow it down for Thursday and Friday.
And Brisbane, is there anything what's your major concerns with Brisbane? Where do you have to?
They're experienced and they're really big. They're really big. But I think and they really got really solid guards in Sovey and Mitchell, and so we got to find a way to contain them. But I think the way we competed versus New Zealand, and now we tighten it up and have really good crisp practice, that we can really have a really good competition next week.
And you mentioned the Hawks are at 69 points. You need more than that, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm glad we had 69. The team had 65, but we're definitely a much more offensive-minded, high-powered than that.
Yeah, and just sort of getting to the Brisbane game. Obviously, you're quite new in the league, so there's not a lot of experience that you can draw from previous seasons. What's the process like in terms of preparing? You look to your assistant coaches, you look to players that maybe know the scout a little bit better. How do you manage that?
For sure, my assistant coaches are very experienced in this league right now. They have multiple years of coaching, and so they really have helped me with the scout on every team and with the players. So getting a lot of good insights from them, and then the players give me their insight if they play with certain people, some of their tendencies, what they can or can't do. But we don't really want to overflow ourselves with things what Brisbane can do. We just want to know the major things and how to stop them and worry about us.
And you sort of touched on there the competition in training, just looking at that scrimmage there where you're just letting the guys play. That's really something that you obviously backed up, and there are guys here that are clearly competing for spots, and we saw that.
Yep.
The bench, they're right there with the starters, yeah?
Yeah, they are, and I mean that's the advantage of having 13 really good guys, and but also really 13 good professionals who understand that their number may or may not be called this weekend, but at the end of the day, next week it might be. So that was our message to them this week, that at the end of the day we're going to create time for that next man, because we know we need a 8, 9, 10 man rotation, but you guys should be able to create time for your guys on the bench. And so that's the mentality that we kind of want to have, and be ready for the next week if your number hasn't been called. So everybody's been really pretty good in that position.
And getting back to scouting opposition, is it an advantage for you sort of going in without as much preparation in terms of you can maybe draw on your previous experience as a high school coach? I'm sure there's lots of games you go into where you don't have a scout or you don't have much tape. Does that help you a little bit as a first-year coach?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's a gift and a curse, because these guys are really good out here in this league. So, I mean, I would like to know as much as I can about them. But like I said, I have 13 guys on my team, most who've been around this league a bit, who can give me a little bit of insight, and plus with my coaching staff and management. So, but also going off a field as a former player and a coach myself, to kind of adjust the way what games are going along. So, like I said, it's a gift and a curse with that.
You have a chat with Mason Mason shortly. He's obviously one of the more experienced guys in a very young team.
Yep.
What are you seeing from him, and what's it been like having him back over the last week?
It's been great. It's been great. I mean, he's a guy who's won in this league, and he's also a veteran leader, and so he speaks volumes. When he talks, we listen. You know, and he's really good at addressing the team or addressing players in a professional way to where they want to play for him or they want to get it. So Mason has been a true professional, just like pretty much everybody, but having that experience out of Mason is helpful for me.